Hi everyone, I'm sitting on the same board as the world champion Gukesh. This was the board on which the much anticipated encounter between Gukesh and Javokhir Sindarov took place. And everyone was super excited. You could see both the players were completely focused. Before this game, in the previous round, both of them had lost their games. Gukesh had lost his game to Wojciech, while Sindarov had lost to Wesley So they came to this game not in the best of spirits, but they wanted to prove a point. Let's have a look at how the game went. Sindarov was white and pushed pawn to e4. Gukesh responded with the Karo Khan, which was very interesting to see. Maybe he saw my course on Chess Ranga, just a joke. Knight f3, d5, and he played this move d3. And the idea is, if you take here, you are happy to play this endgame as white. So Gukesh says, no endgame, Javokhir. I'm going to play the middle game, and plays his queen to c7. And after queen c7, Javokhir takes, pawn takes, and now plays his pawn to c4. And this is his preparation. And Gukesh is also well prepared. He defends the pawn with knight f6. Now the knight comes in to c3, attacking here on the d5 pawn. We have e6 played, and now this is where the game gets very exciting, because the move that was played was g3. He wants to bring his bishop on this diagonal and castle, but if you see, the bishop is also protecting this pawn. So in a way, he's going to gambit the pawn. Gukesh went bishop b4. He always loves to put his bishop here. Bishop g2, and here came d takes c4, saying that, hey, I'm going to sacrifice a pawn here. But in comes bishop f4, attacking the queen. Okay, the queen goes to a5, and now Sindarov takes here. Gukesh takes, pawn takes, and queen takes, and already you can see how exciting this game is, because black is a pawn up while white has the two bishops. Knight d2 played, and here I was thinking that, okay, Gukesh is a bit passive. Okay, he can castle, but the bishop can come to d6, rook c1, castles. And Gukesh plays the move e5. This is the uncompromising play that Gukesh is known for. Rook c1, attacking the queen. The queen goes back, keeping an eye on this pawn. And then comes bishop to g5. Now the bishop is attacking the knight here on f6. And I was thinking that he will simply go knight d7, defending here, but Gukesh went for bishop g4, and this is where things get very, very exciting. Javokhir could have played queen b3, attacking here. I'm pretty sure Gukesh would have gone knight d7 and castled next move. So that's why Sindarov played queen c2, and now the knight comes to c6, castles. He castles here and castles. Pawn comes to h3, attacking the bishop. The bishop drops back to e6, and this is where, if you want to prove any compensation for the missing pawn, you must take, because after taking, the king side is a bit ruined. gf6, knight jumps to e4, attacking f6 pawn. Gukesh defends it with king to g7, and now Sindarov, boom, goes f4. What a nice, interesting idea, because he's now attacking here, he's activating the rook, but Gukesh had f5 prepared. Knight jumps to g5 and e4. At this moment, I was watching this and the tension was rising. I was like, okay, what will he play? I think he gave a check, queen b2, king came back to g8 even, and there were some g4 ideas always in the air. because when you take, the bishop gets activated, otherwise these pawns are limiting this bishop. But actually speaking, he played the move here, king h2, and I think Sindarov was trying to attack here, queen b6 and queen e2, coming to h5, threatening a mate, and Gukesh went queen d4. He wants to come back queen g7, and at this point I think Sindarov just got very excited and he sacrificed a piece. This was not needed. The position is still complicated, but he sacks a piece. He thinks he can win, but with time pressure, anything is possible. Gukesh takes, f5 is played, attacking the bishop. The bishop has to go back. If d7, I go rook d1 and the bishop is hanging. So bishop here, and now rook d1. He goes queen f6 and queen takes e4. While looking at this game, I thought Javokhir is a genius, because he's given up a piece for a pawn, but in return, look at his pieces. They are just beautifully placed, completely amazingly placed, right? But Gukesh kept his calm. He went rook d8, offering a trade. Rook takes d8, knight takes d8, queen check, king g7, and now rook f4 came, threatening rook g4. And this is where I thought Gukesh found an incredible move. h5. Keeping his calm, stopping this move, and when the queen went back to e2, he didn't care about this pawn. He finished. Look at this, bishop d7, another amazing move, trying to connect everything. Queen takes h5, and now he plays this beautiful move, knight c6. Rook goes to h4. There's no mate actually. Check, I can come back, but the threat is maybe another check, takes, and the rook is hanging. So here, maybe there was bishop f5 controlling this, but Gukesh went rook e8. And after rook e8, at this point, the position is now getting clearer that Gukesh is winning. At this moment, there was check, king f8, and he went queen f4. Looking here, Gukesh jumped in, queen f3, he took on a2, this pawn, and now queen e3. Javokhir just trying to create some threats, maybe queen c5 check. He has some ideas. Gukesh says, I'll try to checkmate you, and he goes in, check, king e8. And once the queens were traded, I felt the result is no longer in doubt. But when you are low on time, you have to be careful. g4 was played. The h pawn is a passer. Gukesh says, I also have the a pawn. He pushes forward, king comes up to g3, a4, and I think I think it was this moment that Javokhir took queen in his hand. He got excited because his h pawn was rushing down the board. Bishop d5, bishop c6, h5, and then takes. It was looking a bit scary actually at this moment. Rook a1, h6. I think, there was, here, rook a1, rook here, a3, h6. And then Gukesh also took the queen in his hand. He gave a check, king here. And by the way, there was a pretty mate here. If you take this pawn, king e5 and f6 checkmate, that was very nice. But Gukesh played f6 here first, and after f6 came the move h7, rook takes g4, king e3, and he finds this very nice move, knight f7. because if you make a queen, I simply take it and then swing my rook over, and I have these amazing passers. And otherwise, I mean, if you take this pawn here, then check and you lose the rook, and this pawn is going nowhere. So here Sindarov resigned, and Gukesh scored a very, very important win. After winning this game, he did the fist bump, which we've seen him do not too many times. I think he did it when he beat Wei at the Olympiad. He did it when he beat Ding Liren in one of the matches, one of the games, and this was a huge victory for him, and this really makes him in good spirits for the remaining games and maybe the upcoming World Championship match.
Thank you.
Enjoy.